Now, you guys obviously noted some Kyle McCord throws on the other side, of course, is Devin Brown. Anything there, as you mentioned, Tony, tough to get a read on the quarterbacks when they're running for their lives. You want it to be realistic, want to have pressure in their face and from the edge to simulate a game like situation, but still, if they can't run a play, it's kind of difficult. But you're your thoughts about anything you saw to Devin Brown, either one of you, in the last week?
Yeah, I'll just start and then Kevin can go. But Devin obviously did some running today, and he's the more mobile of the quarterbacks. But Kyle McCord isn't a statue. He was escaping as well today, and he can roll out and he can throw. I thought, like I said, he had a better day. He was pushing the ball further downfield and making some waves there. But I'll be interested to see, not that we will get to see, but how they both do with the first team offensive line in the scrimmage on Saturday. And they'll chart everything. They'll look at everything. They'll take all of that into account. And as Ryan Day said, it'll also come down to the eye test and the gut. But right now, I thought today was a good day for Kyle McCord, as much as it could be with as little time as he had to throw on some of his snaps.
Yeah, I'll jump in just based on what I saw in practice one and kind of just, talking to people and everything else. Yeah, it sure would be great if we could see the scrimmage tomorrow, but that's not meant to be or whatever. But yeah, you are dealing with a lot of cases of where these guys are having to kind of run around a little bit and practice, you're not taking guys to the ground and everything else, and you're being asked to hold, to hold up a little bit on what it is you're doing. So this isn't always going to be a real indicator of what's going forward. I mean, I've got into a debate with some people on social about why Ryan Day hasn't named a starter, and I was like, well, what does he have to gain by naming a starter? What is the upside there? And people say, well, it's reps, and I'm like, well, if they're running two fields, everybody's getting reps anyway, and we're not in install, so there's no real necessity for it. But both of these guys certainly are able to sling it. I mean, McCord maybe not as much of a runner as Devin Brown, but I think they're both much more willing runners than their predecessor. So it'll be interesting to see, what gets called out of all of that. But I think that Ohio State certainly has two good decisions to make in terms of whether it's going to be McCord or Brown. And I know there's going to be a lot of concern, but once a quarterback is named, then the stories are just going to shift to, did Ryan Day pick the right quarterback at that point? So it's kind of a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, I've been reasonably impressed with both guys. I don't think they're going to be the reason why Ohio State doesn't win a game this year. And I think that the defensive line, to me, has picked up kind of right where they left off in the spring. Caden Curry, I thought, made a couple of really nice plays today. Kenyatta Jackson as well continues to grow and develop, and so those are good things. I don't think that that's a bad thing at all. I am a little bit concerned about the injuries with Tyleik Williams and Mike Hall. Got a little dinged up today, but those are two of your three very, very important defensive tackles. Although you've got Tywone Malone now as well, the transfer from Ole Miss, and he's got a big body. He looks like he's potentially a big get there at defensive tackle. So we'll see how he pans out this season. But I'm not down on the quarterbacks in any way, shape, or form. I think if they're given the time to perform, they're going to play pretty well. So I'm not going to worry about what you can't control. I mean, that's just, I think you got to get a few games into the season, and that'll be when you have the true assessment of what you've got. So, they've practiced for exactly 1 week. They've had 8 practices. So I don't think that you can get too wrapped around the axle just yet.
I was just about to make the statement that Kevin made. What do they gain from naming a starting quarterback? However, it almost has the feel, and maybe this is just, I'm just reaching, that Kyle McCord is the starting quarterback. But obviously, he's never faced real competition outside of one game. So why not put the pressure on him? Why not make him compete for the job? And if Devin Brown blows your socks off, of course, then you got to reevaluate. But Is it just me, or does it seem like Kyle McCord is the starting quarterback for this team?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I think that's where things are headed. I think if he plays well in the scrimmage tomorrow, I think by the end of next week that Ryan Day, whenever next time we get a chance to talk to him, may or may not make a special pronouncement that that's what it's going to be for the first game. And then they'll spend the next 2 weeks game planning, get ready to go play Indiana. So, and he'll get 70% of the reps or whatever percentage that they deem necessary to get him ready to go beat Indiana. I mean, this is a Big Ten game on the road. Last 2 times they've started the season, Big Ten game on the road, they've trailed at halftime, Indiana and Minnesota. So they need, can't take anything for granted. So to me, that's that may be where things are headed, provided he gives them what they want to see in this scrimmage tomorrow.